We are provided with an array A with contents from index position 1 to n. N is nothing but the length of the array, and we have to convert this array into a max heap. That means we have an array something like this: 4, 1, 3, 2, 16, 9, 10, 14, 8 and 7. In order to build a max heap from this array, we are going to utilize a few concepts which we already know. So first one is, when we visualize this max heap in the form of a nearly complete binary tree, we know that values from index position n by 2 plus 1 to n are going to be the leaf nodes of this tree. That is, the elements in the subarray from index position lower bound of n by 2 plus 1 to n, they are the leaves. Since they are leaf nodes, they are max heaps in themselves. Next, what we have to do, since they are leaf nodes, we have to do nothing with them, but we have to call maxcpy function on all the remaining non-leaf nodes, that is internal nodes. So we have to apply maxcpy function on all the elements which are ranging from index position 1 to n by 2. So if I write down the algorithm, we will have something like this. Build max heap, it is going to accept an array A. Since we are starting with the process of making a heap, the heap size has to be initialized with the length of the array, because we are going to convert the complete array into a heap. So heap size will be equals to length, and I have to simply execute maxcpy function from length of the array by 2 down to 1. That is, we have to call maxcpy function for all the internal nodes. Now, since the question is why we are starting from n by 2 down to 1 and not from 1 to n by 2. So, if you remember, in the maxcpy function, there is an assumption that both the children of a node should satisfy the property of max heap. So, if we start with index position 1, that means 4. I can apply maxcpy at the root only if its left subtree and its right subtree, they are satisfying the properties of a max heap. But here we can see the left subtree of 4, it is having 1 at root with its two children 2 and 16. It is not satisfying the property of a max heap. Similarly, if I talk about the right child, we have 3 as a root, 9 and 10 as its children nodes. Again, it is not satisfying the property of a max heap. So, left subtree as well as right subtree, they both are not satisfying the property of a max heap. Therefore, I cannot execute maxcpy function on the root node first. Therefore, I'll start from the n by 2th index position, such that when I reach at the root node, by that time we had already converted this left subtree as well as right subtree of a root into a max heap, and thus we can apply maxcpy on the root node now. This is the only thing. So if we execute build max heap on the given example, then these are the steps which are actually happening inside the computer system. So this is the array A, and these are the values. From index position 6 to 10, they are the leaf nodes. We will not do anything. So I'll directly start with the index position 5 and we will call maxcpy function. So maxcpy, it will check 16. It is having only a single child, 7. 16 is greater than 7. So do nothing. Reduce the value of I by 1. We have reached index position 2. Now this 2 will be compared with 14 and 8. Maximum of 2, 14 and 8 as identified by maxcpy, it comes out to be 14. So 14 and 2 will be swapped. Then again maxcpy will be called for index position 8, which gets updated to 2 after the swap. Since it is a leaf node, so no further execution of maxcpy will take place. Now I value, it will be reduced by 1 again. So we have reached an index position of 3. So 3, it is having 2 children, left 9 and right 10. 9 is a leaf node, 10 is a leaf node. They are max heaps in themselves. So we can execute the max heapify at index position 3 with value 3. Again, max heapify will compare 3, 9 and 10. 10 comes out to be the largest. So swap 3 and 10 and max CP5 will be called at index position 7. Since it is a leaf node, so no further execution of max heap will take place. Reduce the value of I by 1 again. We have reached index position 2. Now since we have already executed max CP5 on the left subtree as well as on the right subtree of 1, so they both have max heaps in themselves. So there is no, therefore we can execute max CP5 at 1 now. So 1, 14 and 16, maximum comes out to be 16. 1 and 16 will be swapped. Then 1 and 7, they also will be swapped. So accordingly, we will have 16, 16 right child, 7 and 7 left child will be 1. Also, I value will be reduced by 1 and then finally we have reached the root node. 4, 16 and 10 will be compared by the heaps max CP5 function. So 16 and 4 will be swapped. Then 4, 14 and 7, they will be compared. 14 and 7 will be swapped again. Then we have 4, 2 and 8. So 8 and 4 will be swapped again. So finally we have 16 at the root. 14 will be shifted at index position 2. 8 will be shifted to index position 4 and finally 4 comes out at the leaf node and again max CP5 will not be caught. So the final contents of the array will be 16 at index position 1, then 14, 10, 8, 7, 9, 3, 2, 4, 1. So this is showing us the initial contents of the array and after the build max heap execution, the final contents of the array will be 16, 14, 10 and so on. So this is all about the build max heap execution. When we talk about the running time of a build max heap, then it comes out to be very simple. The first step is we have simply initialized the heap size variable to length and then we have executed the for loop from n by 2 to 1. So ultimately 1 by 2 is a constant, it will be discarded. We have order of n and max CP5 we know it takes log n amount of time. So we have to simply multiply both the terms and we will get n log n. But this is not the actual tight upper bound on the execution time of a build max heap. This is so because when we talk about max CP5 function, then it takes log n amount of time only when we are starting from the root and reaching till leaf node. In all the other cases, we are not traversing the height of a tree completely. In order to understand this in a better way, let's say we have this tree with us. If I'm starting from the root node, then only max CP5 is going to traverse the tree completely and it will take log n amount of time. On the other hand, if I'm executing max CP5 at the leaf nodes, then max CP5 will not be called again. Similarly, if I'm calling max CP5 function for these nodes, then they will get executed at max one more time, not more than that. Similarly, if I am at this particular level, then max CP5 will get executed for at most two more number of times, not more than that. So basically what we have to do, we have to count the number of nodes which are present at any particular level and multiply that number with the height of that particular level. That's it. And we have to do this for all the levels which are present in a tree. So in order to derive this equation, what we do, let us assume we have level which we had already discussed. Root, it should be at level 0. Then we have level 1, 2 and 3. At max, level comes out to be log of n and level starts from value 0. Next, we have to compute total number of nodes which are present at any particular level. So as you can see, at a root, at level 0, we have only single node, that is the root. So I can write 1 as 2 to the power of 0 or in other words 2 to the power of level. So 2 to the power of 0 will give me 1. When I reach level 1, then at max we can have only 2 nodes. So I can write it as 2 to the power of 1 or 2 to the power of level. Again, when I reach at level 2, maximum 4 nodes can be there, which can be written as 2 to the power of 2 or 2 to the power of level. So this relation it holds for each and every level. Now coming to the concept of height. Height is another notion which comes when we talk about a tree data structure. So height of a leaf node, it is always 0. Then height keeps on increasing as we move towards the root. So height here it is equals to 0. Next level it comes out to be 1, then 2, then 3 and so on. So we wish to correlate the height with the level first, because in order to derive the running time of a built max heap, I have to multiply number of nodes which are present at a particular level, multiply with the height of that particular level. So from these values, I can say that hi, that is height at particular level I, can be written as h minus I, where h is representing the total height of a tree. I can verify this relationship from here also. Here h0 is representing height of a tree at level 0, and total height of a tree in this particular case it comes out to be 3. So I can write 3 minus 0, which is equals to 3. That is total height minus level. When we talk about h1, that means level is equals to 1. Total height comes out to be 3. So I can write h1 equals to 3 minus 1 is equals to 2. So this equation is being held for all the heights and for all the level values. Similarly, if we talk about the total number of nodes which are present at any particular level, then we have already seen this relation as 2 to the power of level number, that is I. So I have to simply multiply these two terms in order to get the running time of a build max heap from height value of 0 to h, complete height of the tree. So I have to simply write summation I equals to 0 to height of a tree, number of nodes at the ith level multiplied by height of that level. So if we show the stepwise execution of this equation, then we can have something like this. Ni, we have already derived Ni equals to 2 to the power of I. Similarly, height at level I, it can be written as h minus I. Then multiply and divide by 2 to the power of h. Replace h minus I by k. I'll get this equation accordingly. The range it will change from k equals to 0 to k equals to h. And then when we talk about the infinity, definitely this sum it should be less than or equal to the term which is upper. And when I solve this summation part, it is going to be a constant value. And while computation of the running time, we have to discard the constants. So at the end, we are remaining only with n. So running time of a build max heap, it comes out to be order of n. So if we look at the code of a build max heap, the running time comes out to be n log n, but that was not the titer bound. In order to get the actual titer bound, we have to do this analysis. Therefore, the actual running time of a build max heap, it comes out to be linear, that is order of n. So now we are going to take another example in order to see the execution of a build max heap. So let's say we are provided with this array. In order to execute build max heap, what we have to do? We have to determine the internal nodes, because internal nodes have to be checked for the max cp5 function. So here we have length of the array as 9. So leaf values, they will be present from index position n by 2 plus 1. N by 2, that 2 floor value. So 4.5 floor will give me 4 plus 1 5. So from index position 5 to index position 9, we will have leaf nodes. There is no need to execute the max cp5 function for them. So we will start with the index position 4. So I equals to 4. We will compare 10, 22 and 9. 22 and 9, they are already leaves. They are max heaps. So we will do nothing. And 10 and 22, they will be swapped. So we will get a structure like this. Reduce the value of I by 1. We will get I equals to 3, 17, 19 and 6. They will be compared and 19 and 17 will be swapped. 17 comes at the leaf node. So there is no need to execute the max CP5 again. So the contents, they will be updated like this. 19 and 17, they are swapped. Accordingly, you can change the array contents, because whatever we are doing with the tree, we are actually working with the index positions, which are nothing but the array itself. So we are actually swapping A6 with A3. So 19 and 17, you can observe here we have 19, 22, 84, 17, and previously there was 17, 22, 84 and 19. Now reduce the value of I by 1. We have reached at 3. 3, 22 and 84 will be compared. 3 and 84 will be swapped. Accordingly, 84 will come at position 2 and 3 will move to position 5 in the array as well, as you can observe here. Now finally we have reached the root node. 5, 84 and 19 will be compared. So 5 and 84 will be swapped. Then 5, 22 and 3 will be compared. 5 and 22 will be swapped. Then 5, 10 and 9 will be compared. So 5 and 10 will be swapped. So finally we will have 84 at the root, then 22, 10 and then 5. Rest of the nodes, they are not disturbed. They remain as it is. So finally we will get the array, which is nothing but the max heap. So this is all about the max heap procedure. Lastly, we have to discuss the heap sort algorithm. The heap sort algorithm, that means you are provided with an unsorted array and you have to execute the sorting algorithm with the help of heaps onto it. So first step of a heap sort is you have to build a max heap. So we have just seen the procedure of building a max heap from any array. Once we have the heap with us, we have to execute few steps iteratively till the size of a heap gets reduced to 1. And what are those steps? We have to simply swap the root of the heap with the last element in the heap. We have to reduce the heap size by 1 and then call maxcp5 function at the root node. We have to keep repeating this process till the number of nodes in the heap reaches to 1. So let's say we are provided with an array with 5 elements 4, 7, 3, 1, 2. First step will be I have to convert this array into a max heap. So we have visualized it in the form of a tree. Then there are only 5 values. So 3 values, they are at leaf position. So we will not execute maxcp5 on them. We will start with index position 2. So 7, 1, 2 will be compared. There will be no change. Next I will be reduced to 1 and we have reached the root node. Now 4, 7, 3 will be compared. 7 and 4 will be swapped because 7 comes out to be maximum by the maxcp5 function. And since it is a swap, so maxcp5 will be called again for 4, 1 and 2. Since 4 is greater than 1 and 2 both, so maxcp5 will stop here. So once we are created the max heap for the given array, I have to execute the rest of these steps. And those steps are we have to swap root element with the last element of the heap. So 2 and 7, they will be swapped. Then we have to reduce the heap size by 1. So in order to show that in the diagram, we have simply eliminated this edge which was existing previously. After reducing the heap size by 1, what we have to do, we have to call max heapify again at the root. So after the swap, 2 comes out to be at the root position. So 2, 4, 3 will be compared. 2 and 4 will be swapped. So accordingly 2 comes out to be at left of 4. And since 2 is greater than 1, so max heapify will stop here. Again, what we have to do? the root element, it will be swapped with the last element of the heap. Now the last element of the heap is 1. 7, although it is present in the array, but it is not a part of a heap. So at this particular moment of time, the length of the array, it comes out to be 5, but size of the heap is only 4. So when we compute the child of index position 2, because 2 is present at index position 2. So 2 2s are 4 plus 1 will give us 5. So 5, right child of 2 is not existing because 5 is less than 4. No. So next step will be we will swap 4 and 1. So accordingly we will get 4 over here. We have reduced the size of heap by 1 and then 1 comes out to be at the root. MaxCP5 at the root will swap 1 and 3 together and then we will get this structure. Again, last element of the heap, that is 1, it will be swapped with the root element, that is 3. Reduce the heap size by 1, we will get something like this, and 1 when it comes to the root node, MaxCP5 will swap 2 and 1. So we will get this structure. Again, last element of the heap will be swapped with the root, reduce the heap size by 1, and then we have to stop. So when we write these values in the array, we will have something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 7. So we started with 4, 7, 3, 1, 2, and after building the max heap and repeating certain steps, that is exchange root element with the last element of the heap, reduce heap size by 1, call MaxCP5 at the root. We keep on repeating these steps till heap size reduced to 1. We will get the sorted contents. In this particular case, it comes out to be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 7. So coming to the complexity of a build max heap. No, heap sort algorithm. The first step is we have to execute the build max heap function. So we know its complexity comes out to be order of n. Then we are executing a for loop from length to down to 2. It is going to be executed for order of n number of times. Then we have to swap a1 with last element, which is a constant time operation. We are reducing the heap size by 1, again a constant time operation. We are calling maxcp5 at the root, maxcp5 a comma 1 every time. So maxcp5, it takes log n amount of time. So overall we will get an equation which will have n plus n log n term. So highest order term, it comes out to be n log n. So final complexity of a heap sort algorithm, it comes out to be n log n. So that's it for today. Next we will discuss the priority queues. Thank you.